evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's fight night all the way down in Ireland, Dublin against Johnson & Johnson. Horrible accent once again, boys and girls. We're going to talk about it. Dan Mullen hangs on for dear life in Vegas. Rocco time. Coach hands on the ball. He delivers. The tree versus the rainbow ended up being an absolute classic, an absolute blast, and we might have got ourselves a star from that game. And to top on that, we're going to talk about who was your quarterback from week 0. All great stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, Cody the Prof joins us, rocking and rolling, and of course, Cowboy Tai, dialed in, ready to go. Boys and girls, football is back. We are locked and loaded. It feels good. Just a little appetizer, not the full kumbaya like we want it to be, but we've made it. We're here. We get to talk football for the first time on a Sunday night, Monday morning when you're watching, and I can't be more excited. Coach?
I'll tell you how it went. Let's see. The first game was like mozzarella sticks that come out a little bit cold, but you end up eating them anyway. And then the second game, Kansas, and
Fresno.
Fresno. I don't know why I was blanking. I was thinking UNLV. UNLV was trash. I'll tell you what
Trash.
UNLV was.
That game was incredible.
The I don't know where they were shooting that thing out of. They were shooting that thing on a potato. We didn't know what down it was. We couldn't get a line. The product on the field was absolutely just like, what are we doing here? That on the appetizer was like potato wedges, and they're too thick. And they're just not very good. They're not soft and crispy. But I'll tell you where it really turned up is with Kansas and Fresno State, and then with the trees and rainbows. That's like the nacho platter. Man, it was a banger. Plenty enough to go around for everybody. Still on the appetizer menu. And hey, you can load it up with hot sauce, cheese.
Respect.
You got the chives in there. You got you can put some onions on it if you want to. Load that puppy up. Enough to go around. If you just want a little chip and dip, that was. I
was wondering where you're going with multiple appetizers, but I got I picked up what you're putting down because it wasn't a main course game. Why are you shaking the head? No, Ty. What's wrong?
It was the NFL preseason. I mean, let's face it. It was what it was. We were just juicing up for next week. That's all that was. It was
preseason.
Wow.
I had a guy.
Is it preseason? It was an NFL.
I had a guy giving it all.
Yeah, we had Mike Alejandro limping on one leg. The preseason? Are you out of your mind?
It was like the preseason. Stanford, Hawaii. Who cares? It was a great game, though. I do agree it was a great game. Good game.
Who cares, right? It has zero impact on the season, but Hawaii could be one to watch out for as of now. Look, it's all we got, Ty. Are we that desperate? Can you smell it on us?
You guys sound desperate. You guys.
Can you smell it on us? Is it that bad? Is that what we look like? Are we like the chick that we just got, off from the bar? We just got the sappy makeup.
Japanese kicker. The biggest story was a Japanese kicker from Hawaii kicking the game winner. They learned how to kick
on YouTube, Ty.
I don't know why we're sleeping on the ISU and Kansas State game. I don't understand why that's getting slept on. Sure.
It was all right. It was kind of sloppy at first. It was all right. The end of it.
Yeah, you're right. The FSU Georgia Tech game one was way better last year, Ty. Yeah, they really delivered the goods.
They actually had quarterbacks who were worth half a cent.
Who?
Compared to what we had.
Oh, yeah. So it was better than what you gave us.
I agree. I'm not disagreeing. I didn't think we gave you a great
top 25 matchup. You're spoiled.
The week 0 slander from Ty is
unbelievable.
Is to a point. Look, Derek the Duck would never.
To his point, we're starting the show off with probably one of the hottest topics from this weekend. and it has nothing.
Gameplay.
It has nothing to do with pigskins being thrown around. So maybe
it's because a couple of dad and a son had a little too much Guinness in them. They got a little McGregor with it. Okay, had to make Irish car bombs.
Wild. So maybe Ty has a point.
Quarterback.
Maybe Ty has a point. For those of you that live under a rock, well, I thought it was fake. I was like, there's no way this is true. It's 100% true. Avery Johnson, quarterback for Kansas State, his pops, and his brother, his pop's son, got into a full-blown fist fight. I mean, a full-out brawl in the middle of Ireland, Dublin, after some Guinness. They came out with a report here, a message. I'll say it in just a minute. But I saw this go down, and listen, bottom of my heart, I didn't know Avery Johnson was half white and half black. I did not know that at all. So when I saw this, that's why I was like, there's no way. Well, now we know he is, and they came out with a message saying, we sincerely apologize for our actions following yesterday's football game in Ireland. Senseless bickering escalated into an unnecessary fight. We have resolved our differences and we take full responsibility for our actions. We've apologized to our immediate and extended family and now extend our apologies to Kansas State University, its alumni, and fans. We regret this incident, have learned from it, and we committed to ensuring it doesn't happen again. Please accept our deepest apologies. They obviously did not write any of that, but I don't think you need to. I don't think you need to apologize. If there is a fight that goes down, this is the one that I could care too less about. Like I get it. I like anybody that has family can look at this and understand exactly what happened and have complete understanding of like, dad's pissed, son just got beat, brother's probably throwing little pops off, says something stupid. He's older. Listen, I've got younger brothers. Sometimes they say dumb stuff. My son says dumb stuff. If he's older, I'm wrestling his ass sometimes. This, like, it makes sense. This was, I mean, I if it was maybe like two family, like two dads, some like quarterbacks, maybe this is okay with me.
I give you the play-by-play because I know exactly how this happened.
I'm here. Yeah, let's hear it.
All right, so walking out. All right, obviously they've had a couple Guinnesses and some car bomb. There was probably this is an alcohol related incident.
You
obviously.
think so?
Okay,
Has to be.
Oh, absolutely. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So lose the game. Somebody says something slick. Younger brother or older brother, I don't know which one, but AK not the golden child, either agrees with them or says something slick. Dad says, "Watch your effing mouth. That's my quarterback. Quarterback one. You wish you had the nuts Avery had."
Oh.
Son gets mad and says, "Yeah, I know.
He's your favorite.
He's the golden child. He's the favorite." He says, "Yeah, that's right." And he goes, "But he's still a loser. Can't turn it on during game day." Dad tackles him, beats his ass. AK, why he's on top in the mount. Little ground and pound.
You're right. You're 100%.
Son takes the ass whipping.
The son, the dad instigated. Dad took first swing for sure.
That's
Loss
it.
is cool.
And
Loss
Avery
cool.
is still the golden child.
Even more
things are
so.
gonna be fine during Thanksgiving. Absolutely.
Even more so. Yeah. Double down. Yeah.
Yeah. Dad probably says something when they get up and they're all bloody and everything and says, "Hey, remember who bought you that cardigan?"
You know why Cody says this?
Remember who bought you that?
Him and Bubby are close. They're like a year or two away from Bubby getting absolutely speared. That's why he knows that Bubby's going to say something slick here in the next couple of years, and he's just teeing it up to level. He's giving him reasoning. He's confirming his suspicions that he's going to spear old Bubby here in a couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's not the first time this has happened. I mean, I'm pretty sure this has happened a lot, or it just happened to be caught on camera, like it was in Dublin too. Like it was just, whatever. It wasn't that big a deal. It was, like you said, it was a family dispute, but I don't know what in the West Virginia University we got going over there, but that,
you know what though?
That is.
I rather the Johnson on Johnson crime than dad and brother getting it in with an Iowa State fan. That would have looked terrible.
I agree. We got into it. That's cool.
Yeah, that would have probably been a little worse. Yeah, that would have looked more petty, right?
Yeah.
In family house, like if you sit here and say that you're not dysfunctional, you are the dysfunctional one. Okay.
Oh, yeah, my dad's thrown a couple of us out in the yard before. Like it is what it is.
It's healthy. It's healthy.
It is. It's healthy. It was great.
Oh boy, apparently this was the stale potatoes according to Cody. But I was having a blast watching the UNLV game and Idaho Potato State guys get after it. The coverage was a little weird. The announcers, with every play, I thought this thing was going to explode. You usually can kind of get a feel. Like if I'm watching this and Idaho Potato State is getting after it, like my inflection in my voice would just have a natural rise to it. But he had a natural rise the entire game, which had me felt like every play was just groundbreaking, which that was part of why I think I was so dialed in. You had to have Peacock, Prime TV, and Disney Plus to access this game on Mountain West TV. Thankfully, we have it here in this household, so we were able to try connect our way into it. But man, me and Cody, we talked about it on Thursday because Ty didn't make it. He was late. But we missed it by a long shot. We thought the defense was going to come in. They had a guru, a Mike Zimmer, prototyped. I thought he had this thing fixed up, banged up, and ready to go. I thought they were going to cover like nobody's business. I put it into a trifecta, a little parlay-esque on the butter. And boy, was I wrong. I found out on the show yesterday that the South Idaho Potato State team had more total yardage than UNLV. I think they'll be fine. Their quarterback, Caladonda, I believed, he looked really good, all things considered. I think he was like 18 for 21. Maybe I'm off on that, but I think he looked pretty sharp. And I think they used Alex Orji properly as well, too. This offense, look, Dan Mullen's offense never had issue. That's never been a concern. It's always been defensively. Can they turn it around is going to be the question. Cody, we'll pass it over to you, big guy.
Yeah, I was thinking Dan Mullen in his early Florida days, not the days that got him fired. And obviously he just picked up where he left off. Okay. It's just, hey, I knew there was going to be 550 yards of offense. I just was thinking it was going to be UNLV instead of Idaho State.
Thought you paused on me for a minute.
I thought there was more coming.
Yeah, I know. Okay, that wasn't just me. I was like, "Do you have a stroke? What do you got for us, Ty?"
Yeah, I mean, when I sit back, what first couple of weeks we tend to see teams that struggle. They expect them, they expect to go out and play good. You can ask Derek the Duck, since we were speaking about it earlier. We know Oregon, when they went down into Idaho, right out of the gates, for something about those Idaho teams at the beginning of the season, tend to give people problems. They gave Oregon all the stuff they could handle last year. I think they're going to be okay. I think they're going to figure it out. Anthony Calandero, he was a pretty good quarterback for Virginia. I think they're going to be good there. Like you said, they used Alex Orji in a good way. Jaden Thomas was absolutely running the ball every place. But they got to be able to stop somebody, because if they can't stop the Idaho Potato guys, they're going to be in trouble against like Boise or Mountain West Conference, some of those teams in there. So I think they'll get it figured out. I think they'll be okay. It seems like he's got the offense where he wants it. And like I said, I think they'll be just fine.
Yeah, look, I think the one thing we can conclude on this is that Dan Mullen's going to be must-watch TV the entire year. Mountain West needs to figure it out, boys, because you got people dialed into it. The CW may want to scoop you up, because who's not going to want to watch Uncle Lou watch his number one team get after it? So they play the Houston Bearcats with a K next week. Bearcats looked a little sloppy against Western Kentucky, but I'm going to tell you what, I'm tuning in, okay? They got UCLA the following week. I'm tuning in. I mean, there isn't a UNLV game that I'm not going to watch. So Mountain West, if you need that to up your subscriptions or whatever you got to do to get me on some, a better graphic team, I'm all for it.
I will say the former 5-star defensive end that they went and grabbed out of the portal, I can't remember his name, but that kid is an absolute stud, making plays all over the field. But it's going to take more than one man for them to
typically there's
hold
11 guys that play.
Yeah, they got one good one out of that.
Couple
11. They just got to work on the other 10. But hey, week 0, there's plenty of time for progress.
Right. Week 0, sloppy at first. It's just Kansas State, Iowa State game was sloppy at first. I mean, it's just
that's got 100%. It's just you're working out the kinks. That's why I talk about Florida. I mean, having LIU, it's so important. Rocco time. We had the Big 12 champion matchup preview according to old Coaster here. And look, I mean, the biggest thing I think we could take away is that Avery Johnson didn't seem to take that next step. He didn't play bad. I think he had like 8 or 9 incompletions. It wasn't an atrocious game for Avery Johnson, but it wasn't the next level that I think we were hoping to see. We're thinking third-year Avery Johnson, having a full year after last year, was just going to come in and just turn this thing up. They were close to Iowa State last year. They had some moving pieces, but not enough. Not like Iowa State did. Rocco Becht was awesome. I mean, really took control of this offense, I felt like. And after the game, he asked him and said, yeah, coach gave me 2 plays, the last play that drove him in to win the football game, and this is the play that we went with because he felt comfortable with it. What that tells me is this is a well-coached football team. When you go back to, we talked with Stephen Harris and how that team in 06 was ran, the coaches, you got to trust your players. You got to trust the guys that are in the game. The coaches think if the coaches think they know it all and they know what's best, like, and you're disregarding the guy that's been playing for the last 40 plus minutes, you're out of your mind. How do you feel right now, bud? What are we doing? Here's what I'm thinking. You pick what we go with, and I trust you cold-heartedly. That's going to go a long way for this Iowa State team making a run in this Big 12 champion, taking the Big 12 championship. And look, they've had 5 new winners the last 5 years. They're talking about ASU. Can you go back-to-back? We'll see. They got a lot of things they got to pick up. I think they're going to pick up where they left off, given the fact that I know a little off topic here. I know Cam Scatabo left, but I love their Army running back they've got going on out there. So could be a nice little ISU-ASU matchup, which would be a fun one to watch as of now. Look, I'm not going to give up on Kansas State. I think they're a fun football team. I think both teams by that third and fourth quarter really found who they were. Iowa State struggled early on to kind of get things going. I thought Kansas State was going to dominate them on the trenches. All of a sudden, something clicked, and Iowa State really took control of this football game, and then Rocco Becht was able to shine. And even, look, like I said, Avery Johnson still made some big plays, kept them in it when it felt like it was over. So it wasn't like he played poorly. It was just, that's what Avery Johnson did for us last year. I wanted a little bit more. I think we will get some more. I think hopefully he can take this and what we didn't see last year and take a step, grow from this, and get past all the Johnson & Johnson family fight night. Ty?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the beginning of this game seemed very sloppy. I think it was 7-7 at halftime. Both teams were kind of making some mistakes and no really big plays. But as the game went on, Rocco Becht didn't have great numbers, but he had control of the offense, and he was making all the right decisions. And that's kind of what's important. And you look at Avery Johnson, he had big numbers, but like his game wasn't like he was just missing something. Like he couldn't make the next step to make the big play to win the game. But like I said, I think both teams have room to grow. I thought that Kansas State was going to win. The reason, they lost both wide receivers, Jaden Higgins and Jaylen Daniels, to the NFL, and I thought that was going to be a big loss for him. But it seems that Rocco Becht took control of the game. Like I said, his numbers weren't great, and Matt Campbell is a great quarterback coach. He really does a really good job. I mean, he had Brock Purdy and put him under his wing, got him in the league, and look where he's at. I think Rocco Becht's going to continue to grow and get a little bit better. And I do think Avery Johnson, as the season go along, we're going to see the guy we expect to see. But like I said, it's the first week, it's week 0, and you got new guys in place, and you got to work out some kinks sometimes. They could meet again. They definitely could, but we'll see.
Coach.
Yeah, I'm going to admit where I was wrong. I thought Kansas State was the more complete team. I thought that Avery Johnson was going to come out and look light years better than what he did. I don't care if it's week 0 or week 16 or 12 or however many they play. Avery Johnson has made 0, and I mean 0 growth. And I'm kind of upset about it. There's a lot of people that really liked him. I'm selling all of my Kansas State stock. I'm going to put it in the other team in Kansas because Avery Johnson has not grown at all. It was the same stuff. It was bad footwork, sloppy footwork, errant balls, bad reads. It was the same exact stuff that we saw last year. It's quite upsetting for a young kid to have all the talent. I don't know where he needs to go. He needs to go to our boy down there in South Florida, get it worked out for his quarterback coach, because whoever he's going to see now is not it. There was 0 growth in Avery Johnson from when they played last year.
That's what's going to be concerning, because you nailed it on the head. Of his presence in the pocket wasn't great. He had a clean pocket throughout the night. That's not where he thrived. He thrives.
Elite pocket.
Yeah.
Elite pocket.
He thrives when he's on the run, which is great, but it's like you can't just make it backyard ball every time. And that is going to be a big concern. That it's not something you just figure out in week 2, 3, 4. That's a habit that's been instilled in you, that you've got happy feet in the pocket and you've got to roll out to feel comfortable. You're seeing quarterbacks losing their starting job that thought they could get away with it. You can get away with it. You can't live like that though. And hopefully, someone's got to sit him down and say, "Hey, we've got to tighten this up. You've got to feel better and you've got to settle in."
Can I say this real fast? Everybody wants to point out Patrick Mahomes, but when you look at Patrick Mahomes' feet in a non-muddy pocket, it's elite. He doesn't miss throws like Avery Johnson missed. Yeah, he wows you with the stuff that Avery does, right? But that's the extra. That's the dressing. It's not the salad. That's the potatoes, not the steak. Mahomes makes Mahomes makes elite throws inside a clean pocket with good feet. Avery Johnson, how many times did we see it? And I said his feet were bad. His feet were bad. His feet were bad. And they would go back to the film, and the feet were bad. The feet were bad, and the feet were bad, and they were
Tippy
high,
toes.
low, left, right, tippy toes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not ready to give up on him yet, just because he is a sophomore.
Agreed.
It's not like he.
No, he's a
I think
junior.
he's only started.
Junior.
Yeah, but I think is he a junior? I thought he was a sophomore. Last year was his first year starting. Is my point.
Correct.
It was his first year starting, and I think he's only what? It's only like his 14, 15 start, something like that. It's nothing crazy. Like I think he has talent, but yes, like you said, he needs to learn how to throw from the pocket. I mean, that is his biggest downfall. And we'll see how he grows moving this year. But like you said, if he doesn't grow this year, then we have a problem.
Look, I think at the same breath, we rush these kids, we rush these quarterbacks to grow at an elite speed, and we're doing that right now. Look, I expect him to grow. I'm not selling my Avery Johnson stock by any stretch, but those small nuances those are easy. I would say easier fixes. Those are going to be hard habits to break. And going into year 2 after starting for an entire year, those are things that you would hope to see. Small stuff. Decision making, I don't think was that bad, to be quite honest with you, which is something else that he got better at. It was just hitting the basic throws, which was killing him. Like, that's the crazy thing. So I think he did improve. It was just because the basic stuff, which I guess we kind of just assumed he would be, hurt him more than some of the bad decision making. It kind of canceled it out.
Personally, I don't love the Kansas State offense for him, in all truthfulness. Like, Will Howard was in that offense too before he transferred to Ohio State, and he ended up making the NFL. So, I mean, like, I don't know if it's a quarterback-friendly offense either. So I don't know if they're not coached well at the quarterback position or what, but it just doesn't – I don't know. It doesn't look like he's comfortable at all.
It could be a development issue. I think that's what it appears
I would
to
have
be.
to say it's a development issue. It's
Yeah.
And
Will Howard went and looked like a rock star at Ohio State.
Right.
Yeah, I
He
don't
was
know
running
if it's
second all
if it's
State
a
State.
quarterback-friendly offense or what, but
Yeah, rock star.
it doesn't matter. You still have to develop, and they are not developing. You have a guy that could be a top-tier NFL talent but here's the thing, we talk about this in the NFL too. It takes the right coach to get him. Right? If this guy
really?
goes and sits behind, McVay or Kevin O'Connell or somebody like that, or Andy Reid, yeah, he's a superstar because they know how to develop quarterbacks. I'm going to say this. If I'm Avery Johnson, I'm sorry, I'm transferring out, and I'm going to go find me somebody that knows how to develop quarterbacks.
Well, yeah, I mean, Will Howard would have never been drafted playing for Kansas State for another season. That would have never happened.
No. Yeah.
Zero shot.
Will be interesting. I like him at Kansas State. I think it's fun. It's good for football. But man, you put this kid anywhere, it could be electric. And the SEC is gonna have some openings next year, and I think he'd be a fun fit. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. He could be a hot commodity. This is where the portal gets a little fun. It's definitely it'll be fun. We're getting way ahead of it. I mean, it's week 0. We're reaching here, but it's I mean, God,
Hey, we got to bet about another
about.
SEC quarterback that's going to be at Vandy.
Yeah,
Kentucky
right here.
next
We're getting
year.
that's what's fun about the portal. All right, boys, we got the tree versus the rainbows. Apparently this wasn't even a full course meal. This was just a great nacho platter, but it was a great nacho platter. I got roasted because I said Hawaii stunned Stanford. Apparently I've lost all credibility. I shouldn't be doing this anymore. Rightfully so. A couple of typos here and there. Look, it was stunning for me because at one point it looked like Stanford was going to run away with this thing. So if you watch the game, it was a little stunning what Hawaii was able to do, given the fact that Micah Alejandro got his ACL ripped completely off of his leg and then hobbled around like IHOP for the entire game. So yeah, it was shocking what I watched. Okay, suck it. Anyways, I mean, it was a snooze fest at the beginning, and this thing ramped up and had the blood pumping by the end of it. Really kind of worked out to be an exciting game. Stanford takes the lead. They hand the ball to the 3-star freshman, okay? Can he handle it? Can he handle the pressure? You're feeling the rhythm for Hawaii here, okay? They're down 10. What can they do? Micah drives him down the field like just a true veteran. I was like, oh my goodness, here we go, right? You love it. Then they tie it up at some point. I might be getting my data here a little bit long. Stanford gets the ball back with 2 minutes. I looked at Cody. I go, this is not going to play well for Stanford They need 9 minutes to get down the football field. That's their offense. They don't have a quarterback that can throw it. They're going to just beat you. This was a gritty football team. They stuck to who they were, which was we are just gross, nasty. We're going to rip your quarterback's knee. Like that was their identity, and they didn't budge from it. And I was like, 2 minutes is just that's not going to happen. Hawaii needs to double down, get a big stop, and get the ball back into their veteran quarterback in Mike Alejandro. Okay, and sure enough. They stop him because Stanford's quarterback can't do anything, and he drives him down the field like a true professional once again when needed on one leg. I think he may have lost an arm. I don't know. The myth continues. And then we've got our kicker from YouTube. Just hits. It goes 3 for 3.
Kamikaze kid.
3 for 3. Dialed. I took Hawaii when they were down. Money line plus 115. Cash in the bank, baby. Great game. I mean, it ended up being... Listen, would I have ever watched a Stanford versus Hawaii on any other week? No, because it's coming on at 11:30 at night, and I'm not staying up that late to watch these two. But when it's week 0, boys, and you've been chomping at the bits for 8 months, and it's 7:30 p.m. on Fox, I'm tuning in. Cody?
Football that matters, baby.
You know what I
Football
mean?
that matters.
And listen, I'm glad I turned in. We got to watch who could be one of the most exciting... Listen, I told my buddy, Hawaii plays Arizona next week. The spread's 16. I go, check back with me on Friday. If my boy Micah's good to go, I'm liking the 16 to cover. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
There's no way he's going to be good to go, but...
Yeah. I don't know how he played. I don't know how he played last night.
What did I tell you? I know the bet was late, and I look at you, and I said, who's coaching this team? And you said Frank Wright. And I said, bet the house. Bet it. Bet Hawaii money line. And you did. And you got plus 100. And listen, Frank Wright teams do this right here. This is exactly. Plus we had the little Swifty effect of old boy just getting 25 camera shots. Andrew Luck getting 25 camera shots. I mean, every time they had a second, they were going to Andrew Luck looking to see what he was looking like. Like, oh my gosh, that's gross. He's the GM. Like, I don't even think he should be there. All right, number 2. This kid, Micah, I mean, an absolute baller. Played at elite level at high school, threw 125 touchdowns and 4 INTs at St. Bosco. I mean, sign me up. That kid's going to be an SEC quarterback next year. Maybe a year after, depending how he does and injuries and stuff like that. That kid's going to make it to the SEC. He's going to be fantastic. And then the old kamikaze kid comes out. The YouTube self-taught kicker from Japan goes ahead and knocks 3 elite kicks in. And then obviously the game winner. Can I just say this real fast though? Pretty proud. I think I called it. The INT. They went and they pressured 5.
Massive.
They were pressuring 5. And I said, this is what they're going to do. They are going to go 3 down front. They're going to roll a bunch of people back into coverage, and it's going to be a pick. I watched it back. They do the exact same thing. 3 down cover. They pressure 5. It's sim pressure. They drop 3. Everybody back in coverage. Pick. Roll the safety over. Tiffany goes, "How do you know that?" And I'm like, "Well, when you've watched 19,000 hours of football, you pretty much know what they're thinking." Pick on demand. They drive down there. Alejandro. I don't know his real name, but. Don't kill me in the chat.
Alejandro, I believe. There's no J.
Okay, Alejandro, the Lady Gaga song.
You keep saying
that sounds way better. I love it. So that's what his name is. It's Alejandro. So drives down on an elite 2-minute drill, gets him to the 20. I mean, he throws a beautiful seam route to the tight end. He throws a beautiful crosser to the wide receiver for 20. Gets him down to the 20. Kamikaze kid comes
We're
in.
We're hyping this game up, dude, like it was like it's going to go down at ESPN
right
Classic.
It is a ESPN Classic. Might be the top game of the year. And we have it at week 0. It's going to be in the nominee.
We've seen it all. We don't need any more weeks of football.
We don't even need to watch it.
We watched the best game on TV.
All I need was Hawaii Stanford during the day. Who knew?
We need football. We need more football. It wasn't enough. It was just. You're right. It was the appetizer. The lights. The beer goggles have faded.
Hungry.
The beer goggles have faded.
We're not even talking about the craziest part of the whole game. How about at halftime when they get a sack, Stanford gets a sack, and they might not keep going to 2-minute drill because time's running out. They might try to only get 3. Stanford's D tackle, Clay Patterson's doing the Macarena in the middle of the field for 7 seconds and gets a flag thrown on him, and then all of a sudden they score a touchdown at halftime. What are we doing? He's in there going, I mean, he's throwing the Macarena. I'm like, what is happening?
I couldn't believe it, bro. He gets a 15-yard stop, all to just be decimated because he was doing the Macarena to go back the other direction, plus a first down. Not to mention, this kid's career, collegiate career, started with the safety. You remember? It started with the safety. Well, you're right. Scratch that. It was an ESPN Classic. And we have a $100 bet. This kid's not going to be in the SEC. This kid's 5'10", 195 pounds. He's going to be fun to watch. He's not going to the SEC, Cody.
210. And Kentucky, I mean, better than everything Kentucky has at quarterback. Really proud of the refs. Called the fake injury and made him burn the timeout.
A couple times. That. Twice, I think. Yeah,
twice.
They were all over it. They were all over it.
Stanford did.
Good.
Clap it up. For all the bluffs and week 0 reffing, clap it up.
I think we have one on the ISU game that got called too, which was a really good one.
I like it. Old Miss, you're in trouble. You ain't gonna have no timeouts, Old Miss.
Oh yes, yeah, they're doomed. Let's keep. Hey, listen. I mean, obviously we know where we're headed here, right? Because we've been talking about most of these guys all day. But which quarterback was your top quarterback? We'll let Ty go. We'll let Cody go first because we've already just been talking about him. No, you're going first, Cody.
First. I'm gonna change mine up.
Oh,
it's not the Hawaii kid. After rewatching the Kansas game, I got to go with the 6-year super senior.
Well, this is also
Jaylen Daniels. I mean, my goodness. I mean, this kid's absolutely incredible.
He didn't even know.
I love him. I mean, great RPO, great presence, took some shots, threw some delivery on some deep balls. If he can stay healthy, watch out. He's going to put Kansas for another great season. They are in the Big 12 running. I know there's a lot of teams in the Big 12 running.
They all are.
This Kansas team is very, very complete. They have a defensive tackle that is a NFL day one guy, probably going to go in the first or second round. And Caldwell, that kid is a stud. So they have the defense, they have the offense, they got playmakers at wide receiver, they got a couple good backs. Watch out for Kansas. Hey, bet the house when Kansas is playing.
Ty, will you just kind of piggyback on that?
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to talk about Jaylen Daniels because I've always been a fan of this kid. He was hurt last year a lot, and he had a lot of problems. Kansas is a team that could shock a few teams. They got the revamped stadium up there. They spent a bunch of money on it. They had the corn stalks in the damn end zone. I don't know if you saw them.
It was
painted in there with the blue. It was great. Wheat, whatever. Corn stalks. I don't give a damn what it is. Anyways,
uncultured.
Jaylen Daniels ran that offense to a T like I expected him to. I think he was very efficient. He was 18 of 20. He can run, but he is what we want Avery Johnson to be, because when he is in the pocket and he has a clean pocket, he can throw the football. He found the guy right over across the middle of the field. He went to his second read. He was wide open. He hit him perfectly across the middle. He ran the RPO perfectly. He ran the offense the way that you would expect Avery Johnson to run the offense. And I think Jaylen Daniels gives Kansas a chance to beat anybody with his talent. And they're going to shock a few teams. And who knows what might happen in that Big 12 this year, to be honest. It could be up for grabs, to be honest.
Look, obviously, I think that's the right pick for the weekend. For me, it was Rocco Becht. I just like the way that he carried himself and really closed down that game, to be quite honest with you. There was a point you just kind of, in games when you're watching, you feel it. Once Rocco got the ball again, and I'm not saying that this kid was Tom Brady, but you know that when Tom got the football, it may not always been the cleanest, right? But you just knew the game was over because he was just going to just snipe you down the football field. That's what Rocco looked like. Again, I'm not saying that the kid's Tom Brady. Just to feel the way that he possessed the football, the way that he carried himself in the pocket, drove it down the football field, and then just calling that play at the end, really just handled himself very maturely. Where a game that was sloppy, it was ugly the entire time. He never got wavered. Again, this is a guy that lost his 2 top 1,000 receiving wide receivers. A lot of adjustment has to happen, and a lot is relying on him for this Iowa State team to be really good. Again, Jaylen Daniels is something special, but I feel like Rocco Becht had to grind it out in a very tough, brutal week 1 game. Jalen's playing Fresno State Bulldogs, and I think that's the difference for me. Again, I'm really excited to watch Rocco Becht throughout the year, and again, they're going to continue to make Iowa State a good one. But yeah, I'm surprised you didn't. I think that was probably a better pick than the Hawaii kid. He was special though, man. My golly, was the Hawaii kid's Micah special to watch. He was fun, man.
Yeah,
both of these guys were dogs. You know, the Rocco Becht and Alejandro, they both put it all out there, and that's what impressed me. Like Rocco Becht's a great leader. That's what I was so impressed with by him over the course of that football game.
If Kansas wouldn't have taken the gas off, if they wouldn't have went into coast mode, taken the gas off and went into coast mode, I mean, they could have probably scored 75 on Fresno State. That offense, I don't know who's calling plays over there, but is absolutely awesome. I mean, they went to a 3-back set on the goal line. You thought it was a run. They faked one back, their main back, and they had their like big fullback leak out into the flat, easy pitch and catch for the touchdown. I mean, the offensive creativity, and when you have a guy like Jaylen Daniels, if he stays healthy, like we're gonna say that if he stays healthy, I mean they could really walk up and not even like sucker punch, like totally knock people out by the half. I mean, they have an elite offense, and then they have a pretty good defense with the heartbeat of that being that defensive tackle.
I say it all the time, and I'll continue to say it. The Big 12 is my favorite conference. I mean, I obviously love the SEC because it's my home, but the Big 12 is so fun, dude. I mean, I say it.
Unbiasedly watch? Oh, absolutely. The Big 12 is just like...
Dude, every one of their games are fun to watch. It doesn't. I've said it once. I'll say it again. You're tuning in, you want to go watch Jaylen Daniels. Every team has something to give you, something fun to either watch or talk about. And from top to bottom, the Big 12 has a lot of storylines. UCF's going to be fun to watch. Cincinnati's going to be fun to watch this year. You've got Cincinnati and Nebraska on Thursday night. Watch party. Yes, sign me up. We'll be there. I mean, come on with it. Now, that's more for Nebraska, right? That's what I'm tuning in for. But I got Boise State, and that's not Big 12. I was thinking they were playing UCF. They're playing USF. So, a little hot there. Pump the brakes, kid. But, anyways, great stuff. Great conversations as always. I mean, it feels good to be back, boys. We're going to have to move because of Thursday. I got to check with Ty to make sure that he's good for it. But do a Tuesday.
I'm good.
You said that a lot last Thursday, and you.
Yeah. Well, some things happened this Thursday. Very unlikely.
Tuesday night, we're going to move our show that is usually on Thursday to Tuesday because we're going to have the watch party on Thursday for Nebraska. So here's the lineup for the next couple of days here, boys. We got our show today. We got our show tonight live at 8:05. Okay. Then tomorrow, we're going to have our college football game day show previewing week 1, which starts early anyway, so we need to do it on Tuesday because of how the week started. Wednesday, our main show live at 8:35, and then Thursday and Friday, we will have 2 watch parties going, not 2, but a watch party each day. Then Saturday is game day. I mean, I don't think I need to say anymore. And then Sunday, we'll have our show, and then we're right back to it again. So we're going to be looking at about 14, maybe 12, 13 days straight live. I don't know what else you want from us. We're just going to give it all to you. But y'all be good. Cowboy Tai, Cody the Professor, Shelton here, boys and girls. Y'all be good. Hope you guys have a fantastic Monday. We'll see you boys later on the night. Smash the like button, subscribe, and peace and love, baby.